Hey gang, welcome on back to the Retrocade. It is Monday, and after taking a couple of weeks off to recharge my batteries and work on a couple of smaller features, we are back with our next big playthrough. If you've been enjoying the content on this channel so far, best way you can show it, as always, is to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Also, don't forget about Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday coming up this weekend, where we will play a fighting and/or fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at @RetroCade. Help us hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as possible. That way we can make this channel even bigger and better. And if there is a game you would like to see us feature from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, SNK, Neo-Geo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, or PlayStation 2, leave it in the comments below or drop me a tweet. Can be any game you want. Now, at this point, I don't think it would take a genius to figure out what game we are going to be playing in this new playthrough, or at least what genre it's coming from and what franchise it's coming from. But, as I said in leading up to this, we are not playing Metal Gear Solid. No, we were playing a version of the game that originally came out more than 35 years ago. And while you can play it on the Nintendo Entertainment System, the version we are playing, you cannot play anywhere other than the PS2. And it came out on the as part of the 2-disc special edition for Metal Gear Solid 3. We are going to be playing the original, the 1987 classic Metal Gear. Although, what I need to do first is I need to change the language on this, because for some reason it came out in Spanish, which I unfortunately do not speak and do not follow. There we go. But yes, we are going to play the original Metal Gear, not the NES version. We're going to play the version that came out in 1987 on the MSX2 PC. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the MSX2 is, or was, it was a PC that was a collaborative effort between Microsoft and pretty much every major electronics company of the time. And doing my research getting ready for today, it was a system that there's a Sony version, there's a Panasonic, there's a Casio version, there's truly a million different versions of that system, and it was created specifically for the Asian Pacific Rim, specifically the South Pacific, China, Japan, places like that. It never came out, as far as I know, in the US, and if it did, it came out in even smaller quantities than did the Neo-Geo did, which only sold about 1 million units over its long run. But of all the games that I had a chance to play on the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the day, when I discovered Metal Gear in the summer of 1987, it is one of the games that truly influenced everything I did as a gamer since then. I have been a devout Metal Gear fan now for 35 years. Years makes no difference. And it all started with this game. I still remember the day a buddy of mine back in the rural sticks of Massachusetts, his name is Adam Crawford, I went over to his house, and during the summer, we would play Nintendo games all the time, and for his birthday, he got Metal Gear. And it was a game where we were like, okay, well, we'll give it a shot, and very quickly it became one of my absolute favorite games of all time. Now, this version, why we're playing this version and not the NES version, is that this is the original Hideo Kojima version of the game. The version that everybody got in the United States from Konami on the NES is not the original version of Metal Gear. It looks it, from the top down, it looks the exact same way that this game looks. But it is not the original Metal Gear. And it speaks to the long and tumultuous relationship that Konami had with Hideo Kojima, especially in regards to this franchise, that they decided when it came out we were going to do a totally different version of the game and release it in North America. And I can tell you right now, part of the reason why is because this game, this version of the original Metal Gear, is a lot less forgiving than its Konami counterpart on the NES. And I can definitely say that because part of why this episode is coming out later in the day than I had planned, as well as its compatriot, episode 2, is purely because when I started playing this afternoon, I did not realize there was a glitch on my microphone, and it did not pick up any of my sound at all. So that I just picked up as a ration that will keep me alive. I need this card. And then in here is the binoculars. Now, one of the many reasons I love this game is because it spoke to the thing I was always interested in as a kid, which I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, when the Cold War was still very much an ongoing thing. It was pretty much in its autumn stages by that point. If you don't know your history, the Cold War was the tensions between the Soviet Union and the United States that lasted from the early 60s, right pretty much after the end of World War II, really, all the way through to the early 90s when the Soviet Union finally collapsed. But as a kid growing up in that time, it was impossible for me not to be swept up in the whole notion of, that was not smart of me, of what was happening. You couldn't ignore it. So you go pick up the pistol. Now, it's nice having the pistol, but the problem is that right now I can use it, but I won't have anything because I don't have any ammunition. So, for example, I will sit there and hit the fire button. That clink you hear, that is me firing off something that has no bullets in it. And two, the other reason why I love this game is because it was very much a departure from all the games that I had been able to play at the time that were not like outer space type games. In the mid-80s, dealing with all the usual post-Vietnam, and I've talked about this in other segments that I've done, the fixation on... Oh, crap. There we go. The fixation on the world in the post-Vietnam era, and also trying to both romanticize it and make it seem like what had happened to the United States in the 70s after the after the Vietnam War ended is such that the entire 80s was spent essentially trying to revise it and revise history to make it seem like it wasn't as big of an issue as it ended up being. Actually, I'm going to go back in here really quick because I need to be able to save. Now, one of the tricks in this game is that if I want to be able to save my progress, I need to be able to save in a spot where, and again, you'll see how I've already gotten almost a half an hour into this game before I realized that, oh no, I have a major issue here. But you can save the game in these elevator spaces. They're pretty much like save points. They're checkpoints. If I die, and it's really easy to do in this game, I will tell you that for naught, you will usually restart at the nearest available elevator shaft. So now I need to get around these cameras, and the best way to do that is to avoid being seen. Come down this way, hide behind this box. I don't want to have the ration equipped because I don't want to use it if I don't have to. Now this card is card 1, and it will help me get through certain doors, and all I have to do is walk up to them and they will open. But that door will not open because that one will not take card 1. If I remember it right, in this version of Metal Gear, you have 8 cards you have to get. Grab this little trick here where I can just keep stocking up on ammo. Oh, except I have to go back because I realized I didn't grab something. I didn't grab something very important. That's fine, I'll set it off. I forgot to get the gas mask. Need that. You can see my life bar down in the lower left-hand corner, and then that class is my rank, essentially. And it will go up or down depending on my progress in the game. Whoa. Now I can't go out that door down below, and I can't go out this door either. Neither of them will take the card. Now, I could shoot these guys, but the problem is that as soon as I do, the sound of my gun will alert everybody else. So what I need to do is I need to... No, I don't need to go this way. I already came this way. Oh, that's right. The gas mask is down this way. There is a lot of backtracking you will need to do in this game, and there are no maps. There are no maps to help you out. But also because of the nature of the 8-bit format of this game, you also can't do things like... you can't squat, you can't go under vehicles like you could in Metal Gear Solid. But this was Genesis. This was the start of this whole franchise with a game that, again, not a whole lot of people knew very much about back in the mid to late 80s. And unlike its NES counterpart, the version that was done on the MSX there we go. Didn't mean to do that. That Kojima wanted to make it on that system in particular, because that was what was available in Japan at the time. And you have to remember, 35 years ago, computers weren't nearly as powerful as they are now. Not even close. To give you an example, the MSX and the MSX2, both of which came out in 1983 and 85 respectively, their CPU was a 3.5 megahertz processor. By contrast, nowadays, if you look up an Intel Core i7 processor, an 8-core processor, okay, that runs at 5.1 gigahertz. So you're talking about a boost in power of 2,000% from where we were at in 1983 and 85. That doesn't even take into account stuff like RAM. And the MSX could run on 128K RAM, but also came with 64K of RAM. By contrast, modern systems, like mine, run on anywhere from 32 to 64 gigs. So from kilobytes to gigabytes, you're talking about a difference of 4,000%. So in all aspects, this game is downright archaic by modern standards. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm just gonna sit right here and make you guys come get me. There we go. Foxhound member that infiltrated this base a few days ago was unharmed. They've captured him. So the first part of this game is built on the idea of going and getting a member of your squad, which is Team Foxhound, and his name is Gray Fox. If you are familiar with your Metal Gear history, that name will be very familiar to you, because he played quite a role in Metal Gear Solid 1. Alright, I'm not going to worry about him at this point. Alright, and stay away from that camera. Got me some more ammo. That. Now there is a little trick I'm going to show you here that comes in really handy with rations as well as with ammo. And that is just walk out, walk back in, another ration. And that gives me 3. Now I am currently capped at 3 for as long as I am at 1-star rank. The second I go up to 2 stars, I can start carrying twice as much stuff. And how I go up in rank is by rescuing hostages. Crud. There. And just when you think that you are getting out of sight and nobody's going to find you, somebody inevitably sees you duck around a corner. So you have to be smart about your approach, which, again, speaks to the whole notion of this game and its long-standing tagline of the franchise, which is Tactical Espionage Action. It's a bit of a silly phrase, I know, as I pick up the RC missile, which I very much need, I very much like. But there were so many games that came out in the mid to late 80s for the NES that were just run and gun. Essentially, they were action movies. You had games like Commando, which, even though it's not based on the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of the same name, was not too much different in its theme and what they were trying to do. You also had games like Russian Attack and Ikari Warriors, and like I said, speaking to the whole zeitgeist of the time in the post-Vietnam Reagan era. Now, you get these calls every once in a while, and Big Boss will basically just give you a hint of what's happening. Now, the reason why he's telling me here not to move is because the floor that is blinking is electrified, which is why I need the RC missile. And out of all the weapons I get in this game, the RC missile I think is still my favorite one. I just get that panel, which I did. Now I just gotta work my way up this way, and what I want to do is I want to get... There's an elevator a little bit further north from here that I need to get to. But I also have this hostage here. Diana from the Resistance will provide support on frequency 12033. So I need to call her really quick. And the transceiver, if you've never played a Metal Gear game... This is Steve. Diane, if I know Diane, she's gone shopping and won't have come back yet. Of course she hasn't. Being able to communicate with other people has been an absolute hallmark of this franchise. It's taken different forms over the years, but it's always been you've had to utilize different frequencies and communication methods in order to get in here. In order to reach people and get critical information and also do things like save. Now, you don't have to worry about that in this game. Okay. Well, let's see here. Nope, I don't want this floor yet. I want the next floor. Now, I'm kind of hosed here either way. So, that member of Foxhound, Gray Fox, he's been being held in a secret cell. So the first part of this game is built around the idea there we go. Okay, the only way to get close to the secret cell is to get caught. So as I was saying, the first part of this is you've got to be able to find Gray Fox. And once you do that, then that opens up the rest of the game. So if you think about it, almost in terms of like chapters. I got the Submachine Gun, which I very much will take. Now, I don't want to go over there yet. Because that, if I go down where those tanks are and go left, then that is where I get captured and I would go to the holding cell. I don't want to do that yet. There's other stuff I want to get. There's other stuff I need to get. Ow. Okay, so, I need... Okay, that one won't open that door, won't open that door. Won't open that door. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get back to the elevator. And I need to go back to the 4th floor. And I'm going to end up having my first boss battle here, but not quite yet. Okay, come on down. The good old cardboard box. Okay, so if I go in this door, that will take me to my first boss battle. But what I need to do is I need to go get ammunition for the submachine gun. Because if I don't, this battle's going to get a whole lot harder. Okay. I especially need to go get it now because I'm almost out of bullets. And I can come in here while I'm at it, rescue this guy. Now my goal, as I did on my Final Fantasy VI walkthrough, is to keep these episodes at about a half an hour, so long as we don't have like a major boss battle or things we need to do that would cause me to end the episode like mid-fight. And now, because I'm a 2-star, I can have 100 bullets. Come over here now. One of the things that I want to do before I go in, before I go in the door, is ration up. And then I want the submachine gun. The submachine gun will obviously fire more bullets with each pull of the trigger, and I'm going to need that because there are 4 guys waiting for me in this space. Utilize the rations while I can. 1 more to go. And that got me the suppressor. So now I can fire the pistol and the submachine gun and nobody will hear it. So now when I fire it, as you hear, that is with a suppressor, which means now I will not alert the guards when I fire it. That makes my life a lot easier. The grenade launcher will be awesome. This is great for a boss battle because you can pick where you want to go and then you press the button and it will lob grenades where that reticle is. So, but I don't have any grenades for it yet. I'm not going to worry about it. I would just need to pick up ammo and I'll replenish that. But we're at half an hour for right now, and we just finished our first boss battle, so we've completed the infiltration, we've gotten a couple of hostages, we've gained a rank, and we picked up some really key equipment. So we're going to leave it here for right now, and in the next episode, we'll carry on getting closer to our rendezvous with Gray Fox, and then getting to see a bit more of this game. But if you've been enjoying it so far, as always, best way you can show it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Also, don't forget about Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday coming up this weekend. Follow us on Twitter at @Retrocade. Help us hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as possible. My goal for this playthrough is similar to my Final Fantasy VI playthrough. I'll be posting at least twice a week, 2 episodes a day, so I'll try to do Monday and Wednesday this week. Now that everything is reopening post-COVID pandemic, or at least as we're getting out of that nightmare a bit by bit, I am also hoping that I will be going back to a full-time day job here pretty soon, so obviously that is going to adjust the schedule accordingly, but I will jump that bridge when I get there. And as always, if there's a game you would like to see us play from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, SNK Neo-Geo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, or PlayStation 2, leave it in the comments below or drop me a tweet. Can be any game you want. As always, my name is Ronin. It's great to be back with you on this Monday. Great to have another playthrough underway, and I will talk to you in episode 2. Bye.